Let's say one morning you wake up, you roll over and grab your phone, except it's not a phone, it's an iPod. You go to check TikTok or your Instagram profile, but you can't because these haven't been invented yet. Also, the iPod's not connected to the internet. You walk downstairs and your mom is making breakfast. You glance at the TV. Obama's in his first year as president and talking about the global recession, and your younger sibling just wants to change the channel to Nickelodeon to watch an episode of Drake and Josh. You check your pockets. No wallet, no car keys, no driver's license or credit cards. Just a pocket full of Pokemon or NFL football cards. It's 2009. Everything from 2010 to 2025 was just a dream. What now? What if tomorrow when you wake up, you're in this situation? Everything that happened to you from 2009 till present day did not happen. You get a redo. How would you feel? The other day I came across a post that really got me thinking. I was doing some unproductive scrolling on Instagram and kind of went down a nostalgia brain rot rabbit hole. I saw a post that said this: point of view, you wake up in 2009. Everything was a dream. Take a breath of relief. And this got me thinking. If this actually happened to me one morning, would I be happy or sad? I was a kid in 2009, and would I be happy to relive the quote, good old days, or sad that my life and my work as a 28-year-old was wiped clean and started over? To me, it's a very deep question and a lot of elements go into it. So for Why Learn Wednesday, I'm going to give my take on it as well as read some of the comments you guys gave me when I asked this question on a post on my channel. We got a lot of deep thoughts from the community about happiness, failures, meeting old relatives, and redoing life if given the chance. I think this exercise taught me a lot about what's important to people, what makes people the happiest, as well as mistakes and regrets people have that they'd go back and change. The answers are very split, and I was curious about who would be sad, who would be happy, who would choose to go back, and why. I think that throughout my own life, there have been points where I would have been happy to go back, and points where I would have been extremely sad to go back, and I'll explain. Either way, this question got me thinking about my life in a different way, so I hope you enjoy, and at the end of this, maybe feel some gratitude and can reflect on your life. Now, before you say, I'd just buy Bitcoin and be rich, let's set some rules. Nothing's guaranteed to play out the same way. There's no surefire way to beat the stock market, no shortcuts to success. This is a true redo of life. It's not a cheat code. Although you might have some knowledge and be okay at predicting what's going to do well, and it might be a little easier to get rich, there's still no guarantees. Plus, many of us in 2009, we were kids, right? So it's not like we had money to invest or that people would take us seriously in business anyways. There's also no guarantees that you meet the same people or take the same paths you did before. So the people you knew in your life at that point, they're there. But people you met after that point, you have no idea if you'll ever meet them naturally or see them again, even though you may have knowledge they exist. So if you met a serious girlfriend or wife after 2009, good luck explaining to her that you were in love and that she should go out with you, because this stuff's fragile and decided by the universe. So you know what I'm saying? No guarantees. Let's get into it. Going into this, I had an expectation about who would want to go back versus who wouldn't want to. And here's the thing, I understand feeling both ways. I understand being yeah, I wouldn't mind a redo on this thing. I could do better and do a lot of stuff differently. And I also understand wanting to keep things the way they are. Many people brought up some very deep things in the comments, like being able to talk to a deceased family member again, or if a tragedy happens or if you fell ill, you would love to have a redo and see if your life panned out in a different way. And I completely understand that. As expected as well, there's also those with families, many with wives and kids that are understandably very hesitant to throw all that away and start over. Some people said they feel accomplished professionally and going back would be, a risk as you might not get the same outcome. Those who built something great for themselves don't want to risk losing it. Many people also said they wish they'd taken life or money more seriously, and some said they wish they'd taken life less seriously and they focused on money too much. So there was a variety of things, but overall I was guessing that if you're happy now, you'd want to keep life the way that it is. But if you're sad or depressed with the way life is, you might be eager to go back in time and get a redo. But this wasn't always the case either. If I woke up in 2009, here's who I was. That time period of, 2009, 2010, I look back on those years very fondly for several reasons. I'd call this time period among the most fond and pure memories I've had in my life. I was happy. The only responsibility I had was school, which I was good at. I had many great friends that I'm still friends with to this day. However, instead of only seeing them a few times a year like now, we were busy making memories daily. And to top this all off, the Packers were a great team and even won the Super Bowl in the 2010 season. So literally, this era was my prime, and it just felt like my life was firing on all cylinders. I would wake up, I'd go to school, I'd hang out with friends, play basketball or soccer after school, and then go home and watch American Idol or The Apprentice or collect NFL football cards, just stuff like that. And then in the summertime, I'd spend evenings biking around the neighborhood, playing MW2, Black Ops, 2K, Minecraft. I'd be on Xbox 360 Party Chat with my buddies, and it was just the peak of that era as well. Then there's another element. I'd be seeing my deceased grandparents on a monthly basis again, who I was very close to, and it would just be nothing short of amazing to ask them questions about life and have them around me again. That would be incredible. These are amazing moments of my life then that I feel like they'd be fun to relive again sometimes. For me, there have been times in my life when I would have said, of course I'll go back. This is an easy decision to go out and live a time when I was really happy. There are times when maybe if you put that button right in front of me and it said push this and you can go back to 2009, I might have pressed it and said that, I could do things differently, especially during times when I might not have liked how things were going in my present life. But then there's the other side of this. There are a lot of consequences for me if I push this button. Let's start with some smaller reasons and work up to the big ones. Kind of like an ex-girlfriend, I think we idolize these times when sometimes they weren't all that great either. We tend to only remember the good. I wasn't always happy with this lifestyle of no responsibilities and just heavy video game playing. And if I had to go back to that era, that would also mean that it was right before an era that I did not like at all, which was high school, especially since I went to an all-guys high school. That just would have been 4 more years of boring and pain. It's something I didn't enjoy. Also, the freedoms that I enjoy a lot right now would be gone. Think of traveling, think of driving, having my own money, all that stuff, completely reliant on parents again. Also, I have many people that I met in university or work and beyond that I would truly miss their presence in my life if it played out a different way. Sure, it would be great to talk to my grandparents again, but they're my grandparents, right? They were old, and when I was young, I would just assume they'd be around forever, so I would take them for granted. But sometimes in life, things are meant to be temporary so that they're more special. Like I remember when my grandparents all passed away besides my grandma. And because of this, I just had this appreciation for her that I never felt towards my grandparents before, because at that point, I realized that they're just a temporary thing. So I wasn't taking them for granted. So I visited and called her more, and I was just very happy to make some memories with her before she unexpectedly passed away last year. If this stuff lasted forever, you really would just take it for granted. Then we go and look at my career, and I'm very happy with the way my career turned out, and it just seemed to fall into place so perfectly in so many ways of my life. And I think given another chance, it might have turned out worse for me because there's no guarantees. The hard work and development and the mistakes I made and the fruits of that hard work and the money I have now would be gone, and I'd have to go earn it again. Instead of traveling to different countries, chasing my dreams, I might just be stuck in a situation that I don't like if I roll the dice and push the button. And then this is probably the most important for me. The special lady that I'm with now, our relationship would be nothing but a memory and basically impossible to go back to because the odds of us meeting were supremely small. And our families happened to vacation in the same weekend in the same place in the world. Going back to 2009 would almost guarantee that she would have never been in my life. And that is what would hurt me the most because that's probably the part of my life that would be the most impossible to replace. So if this happened to me today, I wouldn't care that as much about the money part. I would kind of have the mentality that I could earn it back with what I know. And even if I was going back to $0 bank account, I think that would still be the least of my concerns. But it's the people, the ones that I'd be the most sad about. The friends I met, my girlfriend. It's losing the people in my life that I'd have a really hard time coming to terms with. Because spending time with loved ones in your life right now is just what it's about. And that was a big takeaway for me, that I shouldn't be chasing the material things as much as I do, but more so the experiences and the people and building up your character. That's the real source of happiness. Now, reliving those old memories and those old games would be fun, but with the mindset I have now, it would likely get old fast, and I'd get back to thinking it was counterproductive again. While reading through people's comments, I've noticed that a lot of people expressed regrets about how they lived life, so I'm going to share a few. A lot of people mentioned that they didn't talk enough with loved ones, and I can totally relate to this because I wish I could go back and get more of my grandparents, their stories and their wisdom. Some said they wish they took their health more seriously. They wish they took their education more seriously. They wanted to learn more about finance or maybe invest a little bit earlier. Some said they worked too hard. They wish they didn't focus so much on money. Some people said, they wish they made better decisions or quicker decisions. And some said they regret not allowing themselves to be happy. They weren't choosing to be happy. So reading through these, what I want to do for myself is I want to take these regrets that people have and just see if they can help in my life or your life. Are you screwing around too much and not taking important things like your health or your work seriously? Do you take work too seriously? Are you unable to enjoy the other parts of life? Are you not spending enough time with loved ones? Or are you taking them for granted? I want you to think about these things. I think I can confidently say now, I wouldn't want to go back. Those times are nostalgic for a reason because they gave us the memories, but now they're over. Nostalgia's been more of a recent phenomenon for me in my late 20s. In high school and college, I wasn't nostalgic about that era the way I am now. And I think that's because life's really pulling me forward into something new right now. And I'm not sure reliving those days would be productive to who I am. I believe that there's many great things to come for all of us, and we have plenty to look forward to, and that's a beautiful thing. Life just seems to have this way of aligning perfectly, but it's a temporary ride. So enjoy the people in your life and learn from the mistakes you made. Do not take people in your life for granted because many of them won't be around forever. Now, looking back, are there things that I'd maybe do differently? Like, yes, of course. Like, I'd try to connect with people in my life more. Maybe I would have gotten into studying or investing sooner, or not get so stressed out about school or work when I was, because that wasn't productive either. But overall, I wouldn't change a damn thing because I am where I am now for a reason. The past can be a beautiful place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there because the best parts of life shouldn't be behind us. They're happening right now. The people you love today, don't wait until they're gone to appreciate them. The dreams you may have, don't wait until you're 40 or wait till it's too late to chase them. The mistakes you regret, learn from them today, not in the alternate timeline, because maybe you're just exactly where you're supposed to be. I'll be incorporating these lessons and the gratitude for the things we do have in my life moving forward. So thank you to everyone for these amazing comments and giving me a lot to think about and look forward to. So hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, Weiler out.